You know, the single biggest mistake I see experienced gardeners making over and over again is thinking that soil health is just about adding fertilizer or compost and calling it a day. They dump bags of nitrogen, sprinkle granular stuff, and water it in, expecting plants to thrive. The reality? Your soil becomes chemically overloaded, microbial life suffers, and the nutrients you add simply aren't utilized efficiently. You end up with weak roots, slow growth, and frustrated expectations. That's why I started testing an old Amish technique that no one talks about, burying rhubarb leaves directly in your soil. And before we dive in, if you care about practical soil hacks that actually produce results, hit that subscribe button because this is the kind of content I share every week. I've done this across raised beds, backyard plots, and even adapted it for hydroponic systems. The results aren't subtle, they're dramatic. Plants respond faster, soil structure improves, and the microbial life skyrockets. But you can't just throw leaves on top like mulch. There's a method, a timing, and a balance that makes it work, and that's what I'm going to show you. You don't need exotic ingredients, you need the right biology in the soil. Rhubarb leaves are rich in potassium, calcium, and a host of trace minerals, but the real magic isn't the nutrients themselves, it's what happens when soil microbes break them down. The Amish understood that living soil is alive, not just a receptacle for fertilizer. When you bury rhubarb leaves, you're giving microbes a highly digestible carbon source, which sparks activity in your soil ecosystem. That activity transforms hard, compacted earth into crumbly, nutrient-rich soil in just a few weeks. I always shred the leaves before adding them. For a 4x4 foot raised bed, I use about 4 to 6 medium-sized rhubarb leaves, shredded into roughly 2-inch pieces. If your backyard garden is bigger, just scale proportionally. You want a layer that's enough to cover the surface and integrate into the top 4 to 6 inches of soil. In hydroponic systems, I compost the leaves first until they form a T, then add the liquid directly to the nutrient solution. This prevents oxalates from causing imbalances while still feeding beneficial bacteria. Timing matters as much as the technique. I've learned the hard way that adding rhubarb leaves at the wrong time can backfire. You don't want frozen wet leaves sitting on top of clay soil in winter because they compact and slow microbial activity. The ideal time is early spring, just before planting, or in late summer when the soil is still warm. This gives microbes enough energy and the right temperature range to start breaking down organic matter before your plants need it most. Temperature is where most gardeners lose consistency. If your pile or buried leaves aren't getting warm enough, microbial activity is slow and decomposition stalls. I highly recommend a compost thermometer like the Rio Temp 20-inch backyard compost thermometer. I use it constantly in my raised beds and compost piles. It's accurate, durable, and lets you know exactly when the soil microbes are at peak activity. You can check the center of the buried leaf pile and make adjustments. Water lightly if it's dry, mix if it's compacted, or add extra shredded leaves if it's cooling down. The link to the thermometer I use is in the description under Influencers and Associates. And trust me, it's a tool every serious gardener needs. I start by loosening the soil in the top 4 to 6 inches. In raised beds, I remove any old mulch, break up the surface, and make sure the soil is aerated. I shred the rhubarb leaves, spread them evenly, and then gently work them into the soil. You don't want to bury them too deep because the microbial activity needs oxygen. Lightly cover the leaves with soil and press down gently, just enough to create contact without compacting. Watering is critical at this stage. A light soak encourages microbes to wake up and start processing the organic material. In backyard gardens, this method works the same but on a slightly larger scale. I recommend alternating layers: a thin layer of leaves, a layer of garden soil, another thin layer of leaves, then soil again. This layering strategy allows decomposition to happen consistently and ensures the nutrients don't leach away before your plants can access them. For hydroponic growers, I adapted the process by making a rhubarb leaf compost tea. I let shredded leaves ferment in water for 5 to 7 days, keeping it at a warm, steady temperature, then dilute it roughly 1 to 10 with the nutrient solution. This microbial-rich tea doesn't just feed plants, it feeds the beneficial bacteria that improve nutrient uptake. You're essentially turning your hydroponic solution into living soil without soil. Once the leaves are buried, you can start seeing effects in as little as 2 weeks in warm conditions. Soil becomes darker, more crumbly, and holds moisture better. Plant roots go deeper and spread more evenly, which is immediately visible if you're transplanting seedlings into the amended area. In hydroponics, you notice faster root branching and healthier leaves within a week of applying the tea. This isn't guesswork, it's real biological activity that you can observe. If you want to track it precisely, you can use the rheotemp thermometer I mentioned earlier. Insert it into the soil around the buried leaves. Ideally, you'll see the temperature rise into the 120 to 140 degree Fahrenheit range in the first 5 to 7 days of active decomposition. That's a clear indicator that microbes are working efficiently. If it's staying below 90 degrees Fahrenheit for more than a few days, you might need to add moisture, mix in extra leaves, or move the leaves to a sunnier spot. You know, a lot of gardeners get seduced by quick fixes, chemical boosters, instant fertilizers, or those supposedly microbe-friendly commercial powders. I've tried many of them myself, and honestly, none of them deliver the long-term soil structuring benefits of this rhubarb leaf technique. You're not just feeding plants here, you're actually building a resilient ecosystem beneath them. Yes, it takes patience, observation, and a little hands-on work, but the payoff is, well, superior yields, healthier roots, and soil that keeps producing season after season. There are a few things to keep in mind, though. Rhubarb leaves contain oxalates, so you shouldn't use large quantities directly on edible crops like spinach or chard, without giving it time to break down. I usually bury them at least 3 to 4 weeks before planting these crops. Also, the smell can be noticeable during decomposition, especially if you overwater, but in my experience, it's mild and dissipates pretty quickly. In raised beds, proper drainage prevents odor entirely. Another trade-off is labor. Shredding and burying leaves takes effort, but compared to hauling bags of commercial soil amendments or dealing with compacted, nutrient-starved garden beds, the payoff is absolutely worth it. I've tested this for years, and each time the soil responds more quickly and consistently than with any shortcut I've tried. Across multiple seasons, I've seen raised beds amended with buried rhubarb leaves produce thicker stems, darker leaves, and higher yields. In hydroponic adaptations, plants grow faster and roots develop more vigorously. Microbial diversity increases, which also helps suppress soil-borne pathogens naturally. This is a method that works for serious gardeners who actually care about results rather than empty promises. If you're serious about building healthy, productive soil, you owe it to yourself to try this. Start small, observe the microbial response, track the temperature with a reliable compost thermometer like the rheotemp FG20P, and gradually expand the technique across your beds. The results are consistent, repeatable, and honestly transformative. This is the kind of practical, experience-driven method that separates hobbyist gardens from gardens that produce real food season after season. Don't forget to subscribe if you want more actionable gardening strategies that go beyond surface-level advice. And hey, share this video with a friend who's struggling with soil that just won't respond. The more gardeners using these time-tested techniques, the better the soil, the stronger the plants, and the tastier the harvest. Check the description for the RioTemp 20-inch backyard compost thermometer link. Trust me, it's a small investment that makes a huge difference in knowing exactly what your soil is doing and when it's ready for the next stage of planting or feeding. Remember, healthy soil isn't built in a day, but with rhubarb leaves, a little observation and some microbial love, you're giving your garden the foundation it needs to thrive year after year.